Hey y'all, this is Key of W coming to you on a work day. Yeah, I just didn't feel like going into work today, so I'm going to play some games for you. Um, I'm sure nothing will happen at the nuclear reactor that will warrant me being there, so it'll be fine. I do see a couple of puzzles around. I'm just going to solve those because they're in my face. But I think that the main thing for today is going to be... didn't want to fall down all the way yet. I think the main thing for today is actually going to be returning to the pyramid. Oh, I missed. Oh, doggone it. Returning to the pyramid, since we have 10 mysteries solved, we can now explore the lower level of the pyramid that we couldn't do before. So we don't want to make any squares of black, and we don't want to make L shapes of the white. So these both can't be white. One of them has to be black. This also can't be white. Or that. Okay, so far so good. One of these... No, they both can be... No, they both can't be white. So one's black, one's white here. Oh, this also has to be black, so we know this is white. This is a weird one when they start having the patterns like this. We know we have to do this. We have to do that there. And that there. Okay. That has to be a black one. That has to be black. Okay. I mean, it wasn't hard necessarily, but it was just odd. I heard a hidden cube when I was standing here as well, when we started the video, so I'm guessing it's down here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. We also have some of these puzzles. Everyone's favorite. I haven't done a whole lot of morphic fractals in a while, and I know I was getting thousands of comments per day on my OnlyFans asking why I wasn't doing more of these puzzles. So I needed to bring them back to you. So I can just get rid of the whole thing, can't I? I don't actually know if I'm heading the right direction with this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the direction to drag the mouse that will bring this closer, but it doesn't seem to correspond. Like, in my mind, for instance, I got these patterns. See how it's going up and down? I'm dragging my mouse left and right, whereas this is up and down. So it just trips me up because I don't know what direction I need to drag my mouse to make the fractal work. Where am I going? Am I going more, so dragging to the bottom left corner, perhaps? And around there? This is closer to the truth. That's closer to it. No, but there's just too much color in the middle. Whoa. If I'm at the bottom right, like that's where I'm dragging my mouse to. That's also seems close. This is just bottom center area. Oh, I guess that's it. I don't... Man. Not good puzzles. I thought I saw a thing there, but I didn't. So, all dark regions of Area 2. We know our corner rule is going to take place here. Let's see. The 4 could... No, it can't be this because then we'd have a dark region of Area 3. So, that is going to solve itself. That'll overload. Same issue here. If we have 3 in a row of white, we can't do the thing with the dark regions. What am I going to do? This is fine. That has to conclude. Oop. Okay. Stop. So this would overload by a long shot. That'll overload by a long shot. This has to be that, and then... There we go. Cool. Nice puzzle. Okay, so that handles the puzzles that were in my immediate vicinity. Now it's time to actually do what I came here for. We're going to return to the Vault of Vitric. Sticks of one, half dozen of the other as far as how I get there. Might as well just travel the long way and do some puzzles while wait. Here's a tall one. I don't want to move these two because I only have 6 of the turquoise colored squares and I can't break 4 in a row. I have 6 of the blue purpley color, and then 3 of the pink. So what is the break I need to make first? This is a possible break. Now it's going to be tricky for me to get these together. Yeah. What if I did this? This feels very wrong. This is one of the few, it's a bad break for the thing. I could do it this way, and now I don't have any breaks. Now I have this one. I have this one. There we go. That's it. That's a pretty good one. What am I listening to? I'm listening to that and that. I don't want either of those things. How about you? You're an easy puzzle. Area numbers equal region sizes. That's all we know. This is the only way to make the 6. This looks like a pretty simple sky drop. Let's head up. Oh no, sorry. I thought the entrance was up there. It's over this direction a little more. Got some rings we can do. Got a couple ring puzzles. This one looks like you really gotta get down. This one is that spot. Neat. Do love me some armillary rings. They're a fun puzzle type. So, about the pyramid... Oh, never mind. There's a puzzle in the way. I'm going to do that one. Don't make white squares. Connect all light cells, all dark regions of area 3. So we know that has to be a light cell or it would overload the dark cell. And we don't want squares. Dark regions of area 3, which is going to force this. Connect all light cells. That is now forced. We have to go all around. No squares. Dark has area size 3. Okay. Let's see. No squares. Oop. There we go. Cool. Alright, back into the pyramid we go. There were also some puzzles I didn't do on the main level. I might do some of those. But in the meantime, this is the wrong direction. In the meantime, I'm going to focus on the lower level puzzles. And, oh yeah, I never did that one either. So that was climb upwards a bit here. And then we jump over this way. I did that one, I remember. It was a clever little puzzle. Alright, 10 out of 10 mysteries. We head down. I heard an archway. Is there a shy aura in here? Interesting. Okay, we got some rolling block puzzles. That's what we're going to be doing today, huh? Okay, I see what this is going to do. I got to touch all of these with this guy. So let's work out the shape. No. No. What if I had a flat shape? There. No. Flat. Don't want a flat shape there. What shape do I want? I'm looking at it thinking, so there's either going to be a 2x2 shape or a 1x2 shape. So for instance, I could do this, but then how would I get all the rest of these? Because if I move here, we're blocked off, and if I move here, I can't go any further. I could back out and try to get in with another thing, but I can't make it, so that can't be the first move. I feel like I want to come in... No, that can't be right. If I had a 2x2 square here, I could then flip it up to a 1x2 over here. Which would then go to here, and then we'd have one space. What if this was a 1x2? Then a 2x2, 1x2, 2x2. 1x2, 2, 2, 1 by 2. No, this doesn't work either. What, 1 by 2? Nah. What if this is a 1 by 2 space right here? This is a 2 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 2 by 2. So this is a 2. So I have to just get onto that space there. So I need to be one space up here. I need to be like this. There it is. Cool, cool puzzle. How about this? So we need to get both of these to their final resting place, and they're going to have to cut through here. Well, we know this is going to happen. That can't go there, so I think this has to move up. I could move this like so. Tell you what, I could move this like this, and then finish off the puzzle this way. Good. Looks like we have a similar idea. This has to go through there. What if... Can I just do this and it'll be fine? No. Can I just do this and it'll be fine? Yes. That's a good one. Same deal here. Oh boy. So we know... Now the only way to proceed is this. So it's going to move up and up. That has to happen. This has to happen, and then this has to happen. So now the question is, does this move left? Or does it go through this bit here? Let's see how I would get this piece over here. Because I would want... This won't work because I will not have the right amount of space. So I would need... No, I would need it to essentially be here. And then up. This is, of course, not the correct answer, but this is how you get... It needs to be in this column going up and down. So... Oop. I need to figure out how to get in there. Because this is a bad move. Oh, could this? This can come through, and then it can probably go through this way. So this will come through like here, and then it'll just move left, down, and left, and that'll be the end of this piece, I think. But we'll see. This piece is going to be here, and then it's probably going to go through here. No, it's not going to go through there. No, if it's up like this, we're in trouble. So it needs to be... Like this. But that is bad because it covers all of those things. It could just do this. Ah, I see. We're going to move down like this. And then... No, it has to be... No. What am I doing wrong? We want it to be up here. We know that's coming in that way. So this does have to move. I think this is set. So this, we know once this cube gets up here, we're set. Can this come up? Like so. Maybe this is it. This might just be it. I actually kind of like this rolling block puzzle where it's the separate paths for each block type. That's kind of cool. We've got whatever that is. We've got some nice hard puzzles there. Okay, this is like the first one we did. We need to basically make this shape hit all of these points. So we either have a 2x3 or a 3x3. So how would I hit all of these? 2x3, 2x3, 3x3, 2x... Okay, 3x3 here, 3x3 here, 2x3, 2x3, 3x3, 2x3, 2x3, 3x3. So I just have to get into this space right here. So I have to somehow get this one space down. Ah, okay, so I'm in the space, but I'm not far enough over. There it is. Oh, hold on. Nope. There, there, and we're good. This, I think, solves 60 puzzles in the pyramid, which gives me that set. Now we want to solve 90 puzzles. How about you? This is similar to what we did before. We need to make a space here. So it's either a 2x3 or a 1x3 or a 1x2. So how do I get into this nook? I could be this 2x3 shape here, and then a 1x3 shape here, and then a 1x2. So that's a 1x2 here, 1x3. I need to be flat this, but right here. So I need this to be 2 spaces down. I don't know how to do that, so I'm just guessing. That's the unfortunate bit here. I don't want to go down there. This is so close. I just do this until something happens. I genuinely have trouble like seeing where, so I need to have 2x2, so maybe a 2x3 there, 1x2, or a 1x3 here. So maybe like this, and then we can just go from here and we get the whole puzzle. That's it. This one is either a 2x2 or a 2x3, and those are our only options. So how do I get this? Maybe this is a 2x3, this is a 2x3, and these are 2x2s, 2x3, 2x3. So that means I need to have a 2x3 here. Okay, this is at the right level, and we're good. Alright, any more? This one here. Cool, so we have a 1x3 or a 3x3. So in this case, this is the last step, I think, is the 1x3 here. This is a 3x3, 1x3, 1x3, 3x3, 1x3, 1x3. Let's get ourselves in this space here. We're very close. Nope. This is it? No, it isn't. I was one off. This is it. Rolling blocks. That does all of the ones down here, I think. And we have a sky drop inside. What? Is this... Oh, it's not a circle, it's a triangle. I see. Interesting. Alright, so we got some logic grids too. I don't know where that shy aura is, but he's driving me nuts. Alright, we don't want to make... Ah, so we're making a black snake. So let's start by filling in the things we know for sure. This is one of our dead ends, so we gotta come around this way. These can't be dead ends, so we can't have that. So this is how this is going to go. That's gonna bring this around. This can't be our second dead end, probably. It's possible it goes all the way through and then comes up, but we're not sure. These can't be dead ends, so we can't do that. Alright. Now we're pretty much set there. This can't be a dead end, so we can't do that, I don't think. Not 100% sure yet, but I'm very, very, very close to sure. So this can't be a black one, I don't think. I just need to know 100% where the other end of the snake is. This probably isn't it. This would be a problem because it would connect those two. So we know these will connect. That has to connect like that. That has to be a dark cell, and that has to be a dark cell. And that has to be a dark cell. Yeah. That has to be done this way. Well, no matter what, this has to come down here, so we do have this happening. Let's see. Now, unless this is the dead end somewhere up here, there's going to be black cells coming in this way. Hold on. If we have this happen, then this is the final dead end over here, no matter what. In fact, it's where we would end it. We can't, in fact, connect this to here, because then how do we make any connection here? The only way to connect this direction is around this way, and we wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. So this can't connect through here. So this is going to connect this direction. Is that really right? It could also go that way. I think this won't. I think it's going to happen above. And then come up through here. That's got to be a dark cell, so this can't be a dead end. Because if this is a dead end, then we have too many dead ends. So this is, in fact, what we do. Okay, just needed confirmation that was how we were going about things. This is a problem because now there is no way to connect it. Yeah, so this has to be like that. If I did this... Oops, wrong button. That would, in fact, control all 13. That's probably fine. So far, this is all working out very well. So this is our other dead end. Yeah, that's fine. It's a pretty good puzzle. Got an archway over there. How about you? Oh, this is the end of a maze, so we're going to have to do a maze at some point. How about this? Where is that shy aura driving me nuts? Okay, all dark reaches vary at 2, and letters must be sorted. Alright, well... These both can't be light, so there must be at least one black cell here, and if this is black, that's black. So we know this is a black cell. And we're going to have the same deal with any of these. We have to have this happen. Now, it can go up here. Can D come out? Yeah. A come out. Let's see, what do we do from here? I mean, I could do this, I guess, but if I came out this way... if I came out this way, we're in trouble, because then we have a group of 3. So if this, no matter what, is going to connect this direction, which means that that's going to connect that way. I guess the same with some of this other stuff. Like if I did this... So no matter what, this is going to connect down this way and not here, because then... Well, it can do that, but it can't do both of these. So it can do this or it can do this. But either way, it has to connect up through here. And how about this? This is not a possible thing to do. Only one of these two can be a white cell. So that's a white cell, meaning that is. This could be a white cell, because this does not break anything. This could be a white cell. That doesn't break anything. This can be a white cell. We don't break anything with that either. If this is a white cell, it's fine. If this is a dark cell, now we have to make a light cell here, but dark cells are here and here, which brings the C around. So this can't be a dark cell. Okay. Now, if this is a dark cell, we're going to do a similar problem. We're going to connect. We would need a dark cell here, but we wouldn't be able to connect it to anything, so that's a light cell. Alright, we're getting somewhere with this. Seems like this is the way to go. Okay. Neat. Oh, there's a lot of puzzles up here. Which one should I do? What order? There's a 3-star puzzle over here. Let's hit this one. We might just spend our time doing these logic puzzles. I kind of like it. All dark regions have area 5, so we're not going to connect these. And light regions also have area 5. Well, let's do our imagination. If this was a dark cell, this light cell would massively overload. Same here. So it's either this or that. If this were dark cell, we'd overload. If this were a dark cell, we'd overload. This one could be a dark cell, though. If this is a dark cell, this will overload it as well. That's a dark cell. That has to be a dark cell as well. This can't be a light cell, because then how would we make this without overloading? So that's going to solve that. Now over here, if this is the dark cell, we'd have light, light, and then dark, which is fine. This is dark cell, then we have light. Either way, one of these two is light. So that's not a light cell. That's fine, that's fine. No, this isn't fine. If this is a dark cell, how do we build out that way? So, this is how this goes. That can't connect, it would overload. How do I make 5? This is the only way to make 5 in here. This is the only thing we can do here to make 5. That is the solution. Amazing. I feel pretty good. Up to about the 3-star mark, I feel pretty confident about solving puzzles in a timely fashion. Above that, I don't really know. So here we have don't make this pattern. So we can snake a bit. We just can't snake a lot. That's confusing to me. This has to come out at least that far. It's going to stop here. Connect all dark cells. Aside from that, we don't know much. This is fine, because then we could bring this through here. Well, hold on. If we bring this through like this way, we can't have that. So this would be a light cell, and those would be dark cells. So this doesn't come through here, this comes through here. Wait, it can't do it because of this. No, it comes through the middle. It comes through the middle. So it can't come through here. Which does mean Hmm. I don't know which part, but it comes through the middle anyway. So yeah, I know the two can't move to the right, so this does have to be a dark cell, which means that this is a light cell. Since dark cells connect, we do have to do this. That has to be a light cell. Once the patterns start getting a little more complicated, I do have to start doing this thing to see if I break the rule anywhere. That has to be a dark cell, which means that can be a dark cell. Actually, if this is a light cell, do we have any problems? No. This is a light cell? No, we don't have any problems with that either. It's coming through. How do I do that? So, is it here or there? I don't know which one yet. This is not a problem. This is a problem, right? No, I don't know, actually. Don't need to worry about the white cells. If dark cells all connect... Is there anything I could do? Well, obviously I can't do that. I don't know yet. This would be a problem. No, because you could just bring this around. I'm not immediately sure of the next step on this one. If I do this, and if I do this, hold on, we have a problem if I do this. Because then how am I going to connect the dark cells? This is blocked off, that can't go through, so that is in fact the dark cell. That can't be... This can't be. So... we can't bring it down through here, so we have to bring it around this way. It could be brought down... No, since it can't go through this way, it has to go through here. That has to connect out. Knowing which one of these is a white cell will help. Because this is fine. That can't be, so we do have to bring this around. That has to run around that way. What's the secret over here? Well, if this is like so, we can't have that, and we can't have this or that, so this actually has to be the white cell. And then we just have to be really careful how we get this out. Oh no, I can't get that out anyway. Hold on. If I do it this way... And it has to be like this. No, I have to get this connected somehow. Have I missed something vital here that I don't... This is a problem no matter what. That's a problem. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There it is. Don't know why I didn't see that. That was annoying. How about this? 1 star should be good. All area numbers, galaxies, and symmetries. That's not too bad. Uh-huh. What can I gather from any of this? If I make this, then that has to happen. If I make this, then that has to happen. So no matter what, this is a dark cell. Those are your white cells. So we get started that way. This is there, or that's there, so that's a white cell. This would be like that. That would be like that. So this has to be like this has to be like that. 2s, 3s. Is that right? Yeah. So this does have to be... This could be dark or light, but that has to be dark down there. That can't happen. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's gotta be like that, so this does have to be like so. How about this? Done. Okay, I'm gonna save the 5-star for later. And by later, I mean the end of this chain. That might be the final puzzle I do, and it might be the final puzzle for the video, because it's getting long. Okay, don't make dominoes. Exactly 1 symbol per light area. Okay, that means I can't have 2 down here. The most I can have is 1, which would mean I'd have to get white cells down here. I can bring them down pretty far. Let's find another spot I gotta get to. So, where would I put that? So no matter what, this is as far as 5 can go. So if this is a dark cell, then it must be white here. But if the 5 doesn't go that far, if there's a dark cell here, exactly 1 symbol per light area, so we can't do this. This can't be a dark cell, we know that. Can this be a dark cell? No, because then the 5 can't reach it. So the 7 has to be like this, for sure. It can go further, but it at least goes that far. So I think we're going to do the same thing here. If this is a dark cell, who's going to reach there? That's a light cell. If this is a dark cell, that can't reach. That's a light cell. If this is a dark cell, that's fine. Now, if this is a dark cell, we're overlooked. So that's a light cell. If this is a dark cell, that's fine. This can reach just fine. So we know those. Let's see if I can find any others. Basically, we do the game of if this is a dark cell, what happens? Well, if this is a dark cell, who's going to be all the way down there? So that's a light cell. Same thing here. Same here. This can be a dark cell just fine. If this is a dark cell, we're fine. Ah, this has to be a light cell. Right? Nope, that can go down up the far. Never mind. If this is, that can reach just fine. That's fine. Quite a few things can reach. This can be dark cell just fine. If this is a dark cell, then we're still good. We can reach with several things. Okay, I might have used up all the logic I can with this trick I'm using. So now it's a matter of sort of filling in the rest. Okay, well what if this was a dark cell? The only thing that would reach would be the 7, and the 7 would also have to reach here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 5 would have to reach here, and we'd run out of spaces. So that's got to be a light cell. Just don't know who it belongs to yet. The 7 also has to reach this. There's no way of getting around it. Which means the only way to get down here is the 5. So this probably is here. Then that... Okay, I'm in guess land. I'm totally in guess land. But this is one way I can solve some of this issue. This can't go through, but this can go through. Alright, this has to be that one. There we go. Just had to figure out the one piece to put the whole thing together. 2 stars. Don't make that or that. No squares, no 4 in a rows, and connect all dark cells. Well, then that's a light cell. No squares, connect all dark cells, but not connect all light cells. I did notice that. So there could be a light cell there. Let's see. We don't want 4 in a row. That's going to happen here. We also don't want squares. One of these 2 has to be dark, so it has to be this one, and we have to connect. None of this. Oops, this way. Dark cells can go down here just fine. One of these 2 has to be dark, but it could go through here or through there. We don't know. If this is light, we have to have 2 dark cells here. But if this is dark, we can do whatever we like. In fact, it seems this is just a safer move. If this is light... if this is dark, though, now we have this. Oh, no, we don't. We can still make those dark cells. Feels like we should just do this, because otherwise uniqueness is an issue with the puzzle. If this were light, that would have to be dark. I also don't want to make both of these dark, so one of them has to be light. Both of them could be light. Huh. Where's my next step here? There's got to be a light cell in here somewhere. If this is light... But if this is light, then we have to do this whole trick here. Are there any other potential spots? One of these 2 has to be light, one of these 2 has to be light, one of these 2 has to be light. We already filled in here. Oh no, that was just a guess. One of these 2 has to be light, but it could be either one. I could just put a light cell here. I could put a light cell there, it's fine. Actually, if I did this, then... We're starting to have some fun. We're in trouble there. So I think it does mean that's a dark cell. What else does it give me, though? So I could do this. Yep. Okay, how about a 4-star puzzle? Let's see if this takes me all day. Don't make that pattern, don't make that pattern. We'll start here, and there, and there, and there, and there. Okay, so no white squares is easy, but none of this essentially means that all black areas have to be rectangles. So it can be like this, or it can be like this, or it can just be a single cell, but it can't be like that. So let's figure out some of this other stuff. Oh boy, oh boy. Where do we start with this one? Well, how about this 7? It can escape here, 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 and here. But it can go out further than that. Go out further this way, rather than down here. But the 6, the furthest it can go this direction is this far. So it does have to go out. If it doesn't use any of those, it will move out this way, or it will block. No matter what, it will block the 7 and force it to only move this far. So the 7 must come out that direction, which means this can come up but no further. It could be like this, but that's as far as I know. This 5 can never connect with that one. The 7 can go this far. Oh, no squares. Wonder when this is going to come in handy. Well, I can't do this. This is the furthest the 7 can go, but it can come out. Can this connect to the other 7s? Yeah, it can connect to both of the other ones. Huh. Well, let's look at this 4. I can't bring it out this far, because we're going to have some issues. Oh no, we could do it this way. It doesn't say all white cells need to be in their own thing. So there is that. But if the 2 comes out here... Well, how far can the 4 move this way? I could do this. I could do this. It also could just connect to the other 4. Which so far does not cause any problems. Boy, I'm having a hard time even getting started on this puzzle. How about this 5? It can move up 1 space, and that's it. So it has to move this way. It can't move down there because then it destroys that 5. It can move... It can't do that because it's a square. It can do this. It can do this. It can only move up that far. So it does have to move... it can do this. This is not possible. If it goes into here, then we have this. If it goes down here... Is there... Okay, there's a world where the 5 doesn't touch either of these 2 squares, either of these 2 squares, or this square up here. So I don't know for sure where the 5 is going yet, but I do know it has to stop this way, which means the 8 can head... The 8 cannot do this. The 8 cannot go to this space because we would have this issue. So the 8 can only move 1 space this way, 2 spaces that way, and 1 space here, which means the 8 has to connect this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's in fact going to connect to this 8. The 6 here... It could skip this piece right there. Well, actually, this 5 can't ignore both of these spaces. So the 5 will either hit this space, or that space, or both. Which means that the 8, at most, can take up 2 spaces aside from this one. It can take those 2, or those... It can't take both of those. The most it can take is these 2, which means it could be either one of these 2 up here. But it can't be both of these. So if this were the 8, that's fine. If this is the 8, we have to do this. If this is the 8, I don't know. Which means now that the 7 can't do both of these because we'd have this issue. So the 7 can only move 1 more space this way. It's really looking like the 7's going to come down here. If I move this up here, then the 4 has to move this far. And then it can't go this far because this 6 is out. In fact, it can't move this far because then the 6 has to move out this way. So far, it's okay. Right? If I do this, right? Let's say I did this. Problem. Okay. So that will stop me from bringing the 4 up here. So I think the 4 does, in fact, have to come this way. That's going to lock these places in, like so. Feels like I'm making some kind of progress, but it is slow. This is perfectly acceptable because we can make a rectangle there. This is not. Well, I mean, it works so far, it's just what I do here. Like, I can just say, let's imagine that this is the world we're in. This could be the 4. Huh. One of those two is the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These both can't be white, so it's going to be those two. And it has to stop there. I think that's what I'm getting at here. But this is still possible. Any of those are still possible. Now we can't have this, which means that the 5 is going to touch this space. It can do it like this. It can do it like this. Really, this or that is all it's going to be. Or that. I don't know. We'd have an issue with the spaces here. Actually, if this is a white space, we're in trouble because we have that. So I think this is what we have down here. Okay, how about up here? We can't connect to there. We can't connect to there, so it does have to come out this way. This can't be black, so that is how this section's going to go. I feel like this is right. It just, I'm not 100% sure, and if I'm wrong somewhere, I'd have to like start the whole thing over. These both can't be black cells. I know that. That can't be a black cell. The 6 will connect to this, which would overload here. So they can't do that. I can do this. That is underloaded now. This can't connect to there, though. So I think I have made a mistake somewhere. What if this just connects like that? That's what I can't do here. Unless I have... Okay, somewhere in here is a mistake. I don't know where it is. Because, like, the 8 has to be... There's no way I can fill this in. Again, I really do feel like I have to connect the 6s to each other here. I can't do it there. Oh boy, I bet I have to reset quite a lot to get this done correctly. So this is where I made a guess. I think this just has to be it. trouble is if I do this, I don't have enough space for all the 7s. So this is possible, but then I have to do it like this. This is possible now with this set. I might be onto something here. This has to come up. I don't think this is great. No, I still have trouble with the 6s up here. If I do this... Yes, I do have to have a 5 like so. This is possible. No, shoot. This would have to be like this, though. That's an issue. Because it can't go down here. Dang, I really screwed this one up. Here, I really screwed it up. I'm going to start over. I'm probably not going to cut. I'm going to let you see the total failure. Total miserable failure. So I know that this can't extend this far. So it has to extend down one space. We know this has to happen. Which means if this blocked this way, it has to be blocked in both of these directions. You would have to do all this kind of stuff. Whereas if it's not blocked in that direction, this still has to be here. Hold on. If this is the case, this is a white cell. And if this is the case, that's a white cell. So we know that here. Is there a world where 4 does this? I don't know. The trouble with connecting a 7 like this... It's just we run out of space doing that kind of stuff. 4 can't go up that far. It could go up this far. It could go up that way. Alright, let's take a look at 8 again. 8 is not going to come through there or through here. The furthest it can go is this far. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is going to connect up this far. So we do know that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's going to be a 6th piece here. Now we could have this reach there. This is the furthest we're going to reach for the 6 down this direction, which would cause this to happen, and that would be fine. This is also fine. Now let's see, if I have this 4 connect like that, then we have to have a white cell there. But if I don't have the 4 connect to here, it could connect like this. But then we can't. We'd have to have this happen, which prevents this. This is what would have to happen over here. And we're stuck. So the 4 cannot possibly be like that. That cannot happen with the 4. So if the 4 doesn't connect here, can it connect this way? No. There is no way, but it could connect like this. We're just trying stuff here, because I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do in this puzzle. It's actually quite tricky. Okay, we can't do that either. We run out of space for that. So the 4 has to connect. There's no way out of this. Now we could connect this way, or we could do that. That can't be connected. So we have these things done. This can be either. Don't know on that one. This 5 can't go. This can't go even that high. So it's either this shape, or this shape, or it can't be this shape. If we have this, don't know about that. That's got to be a dark cell. So here, still don't have a guaranteed spot for this. Let's take a look at the 3. The 3 cannot connect to... If this is a light cell, we're stuck. That's got to be a dark cell. Which does mean the 3 has to be this. I feel like we're back in the same trap I got from the very first time I did this. Which is setting up for this exact thing and then having nowhere to go. Before then, we could do this. Well, that's got to be there. Can't now have that. But we could... No, we can't do this because then how am I going to make this 5 work? So it does have to be like this. We're back to where we started. Six, that has to be a that. Does this work? No, this doesn't work. See, we need to make sure this is a light cell no matter what. It's going to overload it. That can't be a dark cell. This... That can't... That's a square. We can't be doing squares. What if... That can't be like that because we would need this cell. There we go. Holy crap, that was hard. That was a hard puzzle for me. So on that note, here's the final puzzle of everything up here. We got one more down on this level. There's actually plenty more on this level, I'm sure. It's just this is all the stuff, the basic stuff I can see. 5-star puzzle, all dark regions have area 2. Oh boy, where to begin? Well, let's start with this. 5 and 7. No matter what, the 7 has to extend 2 more spaces out at minimum. So now the 4 sees quite a bit. It's going to see 1 or 2 more of these. The 5 and the 3, no matter how far out they extend, the 5 has to extend 2 more spaces. And if it extends here, it's going to extend that way, which is a thing. It's okay, but it definitely has to extend to here for sure. Okay, this would finish us off as far as this is concerned. 3, Yeah, I can do something like that. That's totally fine. The 5, this extends the same way everywhere. The 2. So this can go down that far. This can only go one more space to either side. This can only go one more space either way. So if I do this... This is acceptable. This is acceptable. Just trying to put myself... Make sure I don't put myself in a position where I force a bad... A section is too large or too small. This is going to be one of these two. If it was this one, we would force these to be dark cells. Whereas if that was the dark cell, this would be a dark cell, and that would be a dark cell. Yeah, this has to be a dark cell no matter what, right here. Is there anything else I can clean? Can't take that down that far. I can't take it up all the way. What happens if I do it this way? I can make either of these. I just know that that would be a light cell. This sort of like makes it a little bit easier to determine things, so that it gives me a lot more cells. I just don't know if it's true. I just know that that one's a dark cell. Now, let's see. Is there anywhere else I can get some? I can't take that all the way up. So at the most I can do this, so it has to move to the side at least one space. Not super helpful. If this were a dark cell, this would have to be a dark cell, which is fine. Which means I can't have that. I can't have this anyway because dark regions have area 2. So this could be a dark cell. I can only go one space this way. I can go 2 spaces that way, or 1. I can also do this. So that doesn't help me either. Ooh, this one's hard to break in. Let's say I have a dark cell here, then I would know, that can't be a dark cell because then I'd overload. So that's a light cell. That's the furthest I can go. If this were a dark cell, this can't be a dark cell either. Because if it is, this has to extend to 7, it'll overload the 4. So that's also a dark cell, which means the most I can do is 1 this direction, or 1 that direction, or 1 that direction. That can't extend all the way there. This is possible. Okay. If it takes me 5 minutes to make every single inference here, then that's just what it takes. 5 minutes for every inference. I can only add 1 more space in any direction. Let's say it's this one. If I did it this way, I'm not running into any real trouble yet. If it was this way, if I had this issue, if I have this as a light cell, then this has to be a dark cell down here. If this is a dark cell, well, this could also be a dark cell. Well, if this is a light cell, that's a dark cell. But it's also possible... Hold on, if this is a dark cell, is it required that this is a dark cell? No, it isn't. That's what I was trying to get, see if I could force this to be a dark cell. But there is at least 1 dark cell in here. Doesn't have to be 1 there. There has to be at least 1 in here. I know that much. I mean, we could have this, we could have this. So many ways to do this block. This is possible. If this were a dark cell, that wouldn't tell us much. If this were a dark cell, it would tell us both of these are. How helpful is that? Somewhat. But not ironclad logic yet. Where do I really break into this puzzle? I know I get one more space over here. This is possible. One of these two is a dark cell, I know. So at the most, 1, 2, 3. If I did this, I would have to extend down one. But if I did this, I wouldn't have to. Because I can do it this way. See, the trouble is if I do this, now these are both complete, so I have to have... This is forced. I don't think this is correct. Like, it's giving me a lot if I were to make this assumption, but I feel like it's an assumption I can't back up, but I wish it got me to a contradiction a lot quicker than it has. Because I don't know if that's true. If I were to take this, though, I would have to make... This would have to come down at least one space. This would have to be like that. Okay, hold on a second. If I make this go down one space, this is a dark cell, yes, but so is that. And this 5 has to move down at least one space like this. Does it prove that this is a dark cell? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yes, because if this is the dark cell, we're going to overload it. So, this is the dark cell. If I start with this assumption here. Now, if this is a light cell, then that's just a dark cell. So we know this is a dark cell. So we know that that we start this way. No matter what, this is going to be the case, and the 7 is complete, so this has to be a dark cell as well. So we do, in fact, have this completely solved. I think. This is really tough. That can't go all the way. This can go here, or it can go like that, or it can go like this. We're not sure. We know that's a light cell. Anything else I can get in this corner? This 5 could extend here, or it might do this. Huh. Either we have this, or we have this. There's no in between. None of that's happening. So either we have a dark cell there, or we have dark cells here. If we have a dark cell here, does it prove there's a dark cell here as well? Because I could make a light cell like this. If I did this. We couldn't do that. That would be a dark cell as well. So far, so good. If we did it this way... Okay, so if I make this a light cell, no matter what I do, this is a dark cell. Makes sense? Let's say if I make this a dark cell. That's a dark cell. So no matter what I do, this has to be a dark cell. Nothing I can do about it. So then we are the thing I was guessing from way earlier. This is in fact the way to set up the puzzle. So now the question is, oops, which one of those two is going to be dark? Well, one of those two, does that mean this is a dark cell? No, we can do this. Oops, hold on. We can do it either this way or that way. So one of those two If it's this one, we definitely have this going on, which means that's a dark cell. If we have it this one, we either come in this way or we come in this way. Okay, hold on a second. We have it this way. That's possible. That's possible. Nope, didn't get anything from that. If we start with this, though, we'd have to do all of these. Don't think this helps us, though. Let's make instead the assumption that this is our story. Well, we can't have that. Oh, I guess if this is a dark cell, then this has to be a dark cell. Whereas if this is a light cell, that also has to be a dark cell. So that's a dark cell no matter what, and so is that. But yeah, this has to be a dark cell too? Yeah, I guess the guess I had, I figured out a way to make it really work. Still don't know in this direction what I'm doing. The 5 has to extend somewhat in these directions. This has to extend at least one space up and down. The 4 could go here, or it could be like this, or like that. Or that. I really don't know. This could be a dark cell. Are any of these directions going to block me off? Those will. This can't be a dark cell because it'll extend into there. So that does, in fact, give us this solve. This could be a dark cell. In fact, it has to be. No matter what, we have to block one of these two, so it'll always be this one. If we had this, this would complete the 5, which would give us some trouble, I think. I'm not sure. Now, if this is not a dark cell, if we did it this way, we would have to extend equally in the opposite direction, and it would have to be like this, I think. Right? Because it can't be like that. So I think it's this. I think this is what we have going on, which means we're going to have this. I think this is what makes the most sense. This 3 can no longer go that direction. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere with this puzzle. This is I really like this one. It's very hard, but I really like it. This can't go both of those ways, so one of these is dark, which means both of them are dark. Has to come out at least that far. Doesn't have to be that. It can still be all of that. I mean, what if it's just this? Yeah, that's just that. Wow, that's a good puzzle. I really like that one. I feel like I did a better job at that puzzle than I did at the 4-star puzzle over there. I really botched that one. I'm very sorry to both of my fans. But it's been a long enough episode. I think... Where is that guy that's Shy Aura? I can't freaking see him. Ooh, there's another sky drop here. Let's get it. Oh, there we go. What I'm going to do now is end... I don't want to go into that maze. I came down... So this is the way to go back up, I think. Hold on, I see rings right here. Oh, I'm going to take care of this while I see it. Oh no, this means make squares. So it would be like a square here, a square there. Okay, I don't know which color is which, but we're going to start with this. And hope that I guessed correctly. No. So this is start. You see what I'm doing? Like I have to make rectangles? That's what it is. Anyway, so I think that will be how... Oh, hold on. That's not going to be how I end it. See, those I forgot about those matchboxes. that requires me to head down to the lower level. And then I'll end the video, maybe. I also heard an archway when I was over here. Ah, it's just right back there. We're going to head down and grab... So once we're down here, we should probably be able to see and reach those. Hold on, there's an arch just right up here. I can't go through it this way? There we go. So I've got the... Where's the red one? Is it up there? Gotta get a good angle. Yeah, gotta get a good angle of it. That's the puzzle. And now, I'll be done with the pyramid for the day. Good episode, everyone. I would like to thank God in this moment. I feel God in this episode tonight. I will see people in another video whenever I feel like recording. Thanks so much for watching, and have a good day.